78 Sports TV here. So I'm checking out my boy Boxing Beats and Rhymes page.
Doing it from Boxing Beats and Rhymes channel.
This is Tony Thompson, chilling with Boxing Beats and Rhymes. Everyone, you chilling with Boxing Beats and Rhymes. This is that Mayor Hardcore Man Store on Boxing Beats and Rhymes YouTube channel.
I don't know if you answer. Possible Manny Pacquiao fight with Floyd Mayweather. How you feel about that?
Well, basically, it's a fight that still has the potential to happen.
Ian John Lewis is Comedy Central, man, you know. I remember when he stopped the Enzo Maccarinelli Ovil McKenzie bout. He jumped in too early after Ovil landed overhand right, I think it was. And he jumped in. And then he realized he jumped in too early. And it looks like he wanted to let the fight continue. No, you stopped it already. You stopped the fight already. You waved it off. And you didn't wave this one off, but when Joshua was teeing off on Bakhtov, he jumped in. There's no standing 8 count. I haven't seen no standing 8 count on no Sky Sports or Matchroom fights. There's no stand. Do they use? I've seen the standing 8 count used in the UK a couple of times, and it just seemed they brought it in to save the hometown British fighter. I don't really know no standing 8 count in British boxing like that. And he didn't use no standing 8 count. But what did he jump in for? You're either going to stop the fight or let the guy get pummeled. Either stop it or let the guy get pummeled. Ridiculous. I don't know what he was doing. You can't just stop the guy to see what condition he's in. You stop the fight if there's a standing 8. Or you stop the fight and terminate the bout totally. You don't walk in to see what... No, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But Joshua, jabs, two-handed attack. When Bakhtov attempted to get inside, Joshua would just nimbly step out of the way. Bakhtov was, in hindsight, woefully overmatched, but we didn't know that going in. We didn't know if he could provide a test like that. Two-handed attack by Joshua, crashing shots into Bakhtov's head. Bakhtov did well to take the shots. He did well. He did well. He did well. Joshua could have probably have ended it in the first round if he wanted to. I've seen a few fights he's had. He could have ended it in a round. But why? Why rush it? There's no need to rush, you know. People keep mentioning the sneer he had on his face while he was beating Bakhtov. That's because he's becoming very comfortable in his shoes, you know. People thought it could be an albatross around his neck that he's having to learn his trade in the public glare with so much headlines. But this is all he knows. So he's become accustomed to that now. So he recognizes what the big occasion is. He fights in front of thousands all the time. You know, talks to Kugan Cassius, iFilm, and a host of other reporters regularly now. So it's nothing to him now. This is what he does. And I guess if it's a choice of being an Olympic gold medalist on Sky with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, or being a young pro making your trade, traveling all around the country on low-scale bills with little or no TV or exposure, you'd rather be in Anthony Joshua's position, surely. People wanted to see him step up the opponent, but this is the heavyweight division, man. Heavyweights take a little more time to mature than other fighters in the game, you know. It's more important what he does in sparring and who he spars and what he learns from Steve Sims and those around him than the opponents right now. No rush. No rush, you know. It's not like, you know, we're in Mexico where you can get 14, 15-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids, forge some documents and pretend they're adults and they fight at bantamweight, flyweight, and no one's none the wiser. The heavyweight division, you can't throw no 16-year-old kids in the heavyweight division, even at B or C level. They get hurt. Heavyweight division is man strength boxing, you know what I mean? It's severe man strength boxing. You get hit by a full-blooded right, you'll know all about it. You will know all about it, you know. So he has time on his side. He has time. There is no rush. Some people, even before this fight, were saying they don't like Joshua's cockiness all of a sudden and they don't like him anymore. But that's your problem. That's your hang-up. That's your hang-up, you know. You probably want to pigeonhole him into this shy, reserved guy, you know. But, you know, if that's who he was, that would be cool. But if he's not, I don't see why your next jump is you don't like him, you just jump straight to that. I don't get that. You know, people, you know, they want to control people so that way they can like them. It's ridiculous. You don't have to control someone to like them, you know. That's ridiculous. Not on accomplishments, but from what I'm seeing on skill set, I don't see no British heavyweight who could really beat him at the moment. I don't see it. Maybe it could happen. But it's very early days. It's very early days. And we can't get carried away, you know. Maybe in 5 fights or so, they can give him an areola type of opponent. And that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it, you know. By the end of next year, you take on an areola. And it's early days, man. You have to realize it took Kelbrook 9 years to get to that title. And he's undefeated. And we're talking about world title fights for this guy. And all these big, lofty aspirations and dreams for him really soon. And that could be the mistake. That could be the mistake right here. And the temptation is always going to be there to rush him because he's advancing so quick. And the trick right now seems, how do Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports actually de-accelerate the train right now without it making it look like, you know, they're regressing or stagnating on their matchmaking for Anthony. That's the trick right now. How do they get the balance that they don't push him too far or just put him in way too easy? That's the trick. That's the trick right now. Like I said, I don't think they should go too overboard on looking to match him with King Kong. The sparring, if they can get King Kong to spar with him, it's best to make any errors you're going to make in sparring then on the big stage and take the L. Steve Sims comes in for a little stick. Whether he's capable of developing the next heavyweight champion from the UK. But, you know, this is where Anthony Joshua has to just be his own man. Don't worry about what the press or bloggers have got to say. If you think Steve Sims is the right man, ride with him until you achieve your goals. If you don't, then move on, find someone else. But it's got to be your decision. You can't afford to be led by public opinion, by press opinion. You've got to be your own man. You've got to be your own man, you know. You've got to look at the game and all the top players. You don't have no allies. You know, James Toney was saying, I like Anthony Joshua. He could beat Deontay Wilder and this and that. And it sounds like a compliment, but to me, inadvertently, he's saying, you're a nice, safe English boy. I'll be nice to you, you be nice to me, and I won't say nothing bad about you. You know, the James Toney I remember cursing out Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks and attributing their nationality as to why they're not as good a fighter as he is. That's the Tony I remember, being nasty to his rivals, not being nice to them. So you have no allies here except your coach, your family, and your true friends, or fans for that matter. Fans will stick with you regardless of what decisions you make. They'll leave that down to you. You know, they won't try and play armchair manager with your career from the safe side of the ropes. Dwyer made a good point in a video today that Floyd Mayweather Jr., he is the major shareholder of TMT. So if he wants to sack his dad, Leonard Ellaby, it's up to him. It's not really up to no one else. This is his shit. And I think, especially in the black community, when we talk about guys like Floyd, we kind of see them like not a boss. I think sometimes black people attribute bosses to people of different ethnicities and colours, you know. No, he's a boss. He's a boss. Bosses make critical decisions that you don't have to understand. You don't have to understand why he does it because it's not your business. It's his. It's his business. So when people like Floyd make them decisions, you'll hear a lot of black people say, "Oh, you can't do that. You should see your bad mind." No, he's a boss. That's what bosses do. They make the hard decisions to further their company. And it doesn't matter who doesn't like it. That's what bosses do. He's the boss. My way or the highway. You know? It's like Vlad. Let's go inside the ring when he does all that leaning down on the shoulders and the back. You think Vlad's going to stop that? No, he's the heavyweight champion. You can scream at the television screen all you want. No, I'm the boss. I'm the champion. I set the template. You don't want to watch it? You can bounce. Because I've got the whole of Ukraine bubbling to this shit here. So I don't need you. I'm the boss. I am the champ. Vlad, I am the champ. Not you. You can get as mad as you want. I am the champ. I run this. Not the fans. And, you know, this is a man who's been knocked out 3 times. He's had to come through self-evaluation, a lot of psychological re-evaluation and the whole lot, you know. I think when Vlad initially came into boxing, he was just following his brother. He didn't have no purpose. His purpose was his brother's purpose. And that's why his brother came out of the game more respected than he was, because it seems like he made his own decision. Vlad was following Vitali's decision. But right now, I think Vlad's came through that. He's probably asked himself the hard questions. Do I really want this? You know, am I tough enough? What are my weaknesses? How can I strengthen them? And I think he's came through the other side of that now. And that's why we have the athlete we have today. You know, he's not going to stop pushing down on the neck and the back. Why would he? That's what you have to do. Just like I was saying in the Kell Brook videos. Kell Brook, you know, I don't care what any of you guys say. I'm British too. Yeah? And I drink tea too. But Kell Brook is not fighting for Britain. He's fighting for himself and his daughter and his woman. He's not fighting for Britain. Okay, you can, like I said, you can get inspired by that and you can support it and wave your flag. Cool, you can do that. But when you start going further into it, like you have ownership into this, no. You must draw the line yourself. You support Kell for what Kell decides as a man he wants to do, not what you want him to do. And if not, you can jump off ship. Is he cocky? Well, you know, when you're 6'5" and have dynamite in both hands, you know what I mean, and you've got a future ahead of you, yeah, you may well become cocky. And so what? You know, as long as he's not overtly vulgar and nasty outside the ring. I mean, if you're nasty and be nasty as you like outside, you know, as long as he's not carrying out extremely undesirable character traits, you know what I mean? Come on, you learn to deal with it, man. Learn to deal with it. Eddie Hearn was talking about the David Price fight, which I was shocked. But, you know, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Price is up for it. Price is definitely up for it. And that would be an interesting fight. You know, I think on paper, it's a 50-50. Either man could get it. Either man could win that one. I don't know. Price, you know, he floored Thompson pretty hard. It would be a difficult fight, nonetheless. Good fight, though. Good fight. Good fight. I don't think it's going to happen, though. You know what it's like these days. You know what it's like. We don't get none of the domestic matches we really want. We got Froch and Groves. That's not enough, man. We deserve more than Froch and Groves. We deserve more than Froch and Groves. We deserve Froch, DeGale. We deserve Khan, Brook. We deserve Price and Joshua. We deserve that. We're getting Fury and Chisora, which ain't bad. We got Eubanks and Saunders, which is good. But yo, we want more. We want more. Wherever there's a good match, wherever division, we want it. We want it to occur. We want Frampton Quigg. We want it. We want it all. We want it all, baby. You know? See 2 good prospects today, Anthony Joshua and Lee Selby. I didn't see no flaws in particular in Joshua's work today. He got hit. You know, not flush though. It wasn't flush. He got hit though. I mean, no big deal. It was boxing. And he was taking quite a few risks today, you know. There was a couple of times he got right up inside Bakhtov's punching range to get his own shots off. It looks like they've probably been working on their inside fighting recently, so he's more comfortable doing that now. Especially if the opponent's trying to run from him. You don't want to cut the ring off and start working them over. 2nd round stoppage, Anthony Joshua versus Denis Bakhtov. Peace.